Sandy, were you on last time?
I think that's right.
What was that?
Were you on last meeting, Sandy, or no? I don't have my minutes with me.
To be honest, I can't remember.
I think you can. I think you did. You're just a little late, but we're
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
so
I
just
was. I
Linda
might
has
have been.
to abstain.
Yeah, I might have been a few minutes late.
Hold on, we got the echo
I
now.
believe she was.
Were you on last meeting, Sandy, or no? Sorry, guys, sorry, I
I
gotta
hear
put
the
this
echo.
back.
I think you did. You're just a little late.
No.
Hold on, guys, hold on, sorry, the echo's on.
I believe she was.
Hold on, guys, sorry, I gotta get the echo
It's like
off.
a repeat over and over again.
It was,
it's
it
gonna
was
keep
really good the
going.
first time. I like it the second or third.
Where the hell is it? Oh,
I don't see that Sandy was on it, but what do I know?
It was really good the first time. I like it the second or third.
damn it.
I'm gonna stop.
We're going to hear ourselves over and over and over again.
Hold on,
Well,
I
that'd
gotta
be a reason to set a record.
Sandy was on it, but what do I know?
damn it. All right, I think we're good now.
All right, treasurer's report. Jim, you need to walk us through anything? You're not talking.
Jim, you're on mute, mute.
There you go.
Okay, did I unmute?
Yeah.
Mute.
Okay. There's nothing exciting and not a lot of bills were paid last month to add to what was already there. What I had done with the May report is I had split it on page 2 of the balance sheet. I had split out the reserve funds that were being the 2019 excess that was switched to the reserve funds, and it's showing there. And the general fund now has $50,395.50 left over from the 19 funds. And that's the only thing that's really exciting in this stuff. You know, you hear all the stuff about the towns not getting all their revenue, et cetera, the school districts not getting all their revenue. All 99.999% of the fire district budget is real estate taxes. So we have all our money. We're not going to have any shortfalls of revenue that you're hearing about with other governments. So in that respect, we're in really good shape. I think you need to start thinking about the budget for next year and where you want to go with the budget. You know, and there's going to be a lot of pressure, political pressure brought to the districts simply because everybody else is probably going to have to raise taxes tremendously. So to make up for the shortfalls this year and what they expect to have next year. So be ready for a bumpy budget season.
Jim and everyone, I took, and maybe everyone else had the chance, but I did go through it line by line just to sort of get a feel for budgeted versus actual. And there's a, as you all know, and a lot of it has to do with the circumstances we're in, but there's an awful lot of money that got budgeted that hadn't been spent. So, you know, if I was making a good guess, and I can't, because, you know, the firematic budget can, you know, you can get a lot done in a short period of time, but there are a number of pretty good size, you know, 30s and of where so far the money hasn't been spent. Now it may be earmarked, but it hasn't. There's a lot of money that hasn't been spent. That was my reaction.
Of the earmarked money.
No, I wasn't thinking so much that. No, I was thinking the money that I don't know. There's some big items like.
Well, we're going to paint, right? So that's going to be 25,000.
Yeah, it struck me that beyond the things that we've talked about and the earmarks that we've talked about, there are some other more general categories in the budget where I was just surprised to see no money had been spent yet.
Okay, I think to highlight what Nada's saying, if you, on page 4, we've got the equipment and very little money has been spent. We spent 23,000 out of 140,000 in the equipment, but that's like blacktop, roof, floors, deferred maintenance. That hasn't been.
Jim, no, I wasn't talking about that. I was thinking about that. I think, I'm going to assume that money gets spent. I was just looking at other sort of operating items, and
what?
But
noticing
okay,
that a lot of money hasn't been spent yet.
Let me go through real quick. On firematic operations, we've spent 62,000, but we haven't spent anything out of the major truck repairs. So if you take 61, we're halfway through the year, so that makes it 122, 123. We've added the 20 for major repairs, that's 150. So we got 27 there and a number of line items that probably will get spent. They don't look like they'll get spent.
It's still, I forget, it's still early in the year. I mean, we're only at the halfway mark. But I was just interested to see, that's all. It's probably a normal thing for us to see at this time.
It's normal to see, but it's also very easy to do just exactly what you did with it and think, gee, we got a lot of money left over. Well, maybe we do, but probably we don't.
Okay.
And we have a few things that are going to be coming up. So the ladder's been out for its annual checkup. They're having trouble with the Cosmo charger, so we're waiting on the ladder to come back for the Cosmo charger. The tanker it has a few issues that it's going to go out next. The wipers are not working for some reason. It's got an oil leak and it's got a water leak somewhere in the air conditioner area. So we have a few things coming up that are going to be taken care of.
Good. Okay. I just, just there you go. Just an observation.
Yeah.
I mean,
You said you're saying the right stuff. This is the public relations side of the budget, and when we're dealing with people with the budget, our budget isn't 1/12 of the budget every month. It's going to vary when the expense actually shows up. So we need to be ready to tell people, yeah, we haven't spent this in this line item, but if it gets spent, it's going to get spent in November or December.
Well, we just have to be conscious of how that all fits when we can.
Exactly. That's it.
okay. I have a question. Now, I was looking at the master plan or whatever you guys call it report, the long range planning committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the very last item is the new truck that was like for $1 million. And when does our mortgage end?
I think we've got one more year.
I think.
I believe 2021 is the last payment.
Yeah.
2021. Okay, so where is that? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep up my paperwork with.
Okay.
That's
But,
100.
Since, I mean, Linda, let me just, and Sandy, help me.
2021 is the last payment.
Yeah.
The last time we met, the whole idea about new trucks is changing because, there's this notion of combo, or doing two things with one truck or three things with one truck. I think that's just a number we shouldn't pay much attention to. The plunking in of $1 million down the.
No, I was just looking at the report you sent.
Yeah.
And it says that in 2021, we have this extra money, but I believe it should be 2022 and 23. I think the report's wrong.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The last sentence of it.
Okay.
If you could look at that, Nat, at some point.
I could have gotten my years, the mortgage paid, rolls off. I could have missed it by a year.
Okay. And Jim, I sent you a spreadsheet about reserve money holdings. I sent it to everybody. Yeah. So when I sent it late today.
I got it.
When you guys get a chance, just take a look at it. I'm missing 10,000. I'm $10,000 off in one category, Jim. So if you could look at the apparatus and see if you could tell me where the $10,000 is.
So Linda, this is Stan. I wanted to thank you for sending that, that list of all the reserves out to us. And I have one question that came to my mind as I was looking at it as well. And David, maybe you're in the best position to answer. It's the category to do with radios.
Yeah.
Where we've been putting aside $10,000 each year for at least 4 years.
No, we haven't done it for 4 years, I don't think. I think we just started this year.
Well, it's
Linda shows it.
not necessarily for radios.
Oh, okay.
It's equipment total.
Okay, anyway, my question has to do with what is the status of the expectation with respect to radios?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
So,
The latest,
so
Sandy would know.
if I can just, yeah, interesting that's here. So what they've done is they put in, we have the radio grant that we're waiting on for the whole entire Putnam County. But they've also put in for a secondary grant for that. The first grant is not going to cover any of the radios on the trucks, any of the radios that we carry around. They are doing a second proposal that we had to pay all of the VAC and the fire departments put in enough money to pay a grant writer. They're writing a second grant. It's not been approved yet. It's not been appointed yet. But so we're still in a wait and see to see what happens with that grant. But we all put money, all the agencies in Putnam County put money in to pay a grant writer to write a second grant up. And that's where we're in a waiting pattern right now for that.
But
Sandy,
I mean, there was a time when we thought Garrison Fire District was going to have to pay as much as $100,000
Correct.
for radios. What do we now think?
We're in a whole, I'm telling you, right now, all the departments are waiting on this grant writer. They're writing a second grant to cover all those radios that we were going to have to pay for. And we're still waiting to see what they're going to find, you know, what's going to happen with the grant writer. We don't know yet.
Anticipation is that it's certainly not going to be 100,000, but we don't know for sure, Stan. And we haven't actually saved anywhere near 100,000. We haven't put anything actually in the radio category. It's just reserve money.
It's for equipment.
I just want to be clear now. The county is still going to be responsible for all the radios going in the main trucks, correct?
Yes, the radios, the hard radios that are hardwired in the truck, that's going to be part of that big major first grant.
Right.
So we don't know yet, but we'll learn.
And I'll say that money to that grant writer went out last month, so it's just been recently.
that was money that came out of the fire company?
What's that?
That was money that Garrison contributed out of the fire company's funds?
I'm not sure.
I think we paid for
I
it.
think we did too. I know I paid from the back.
As a matter of fact, let me just clarify something here, right? We sent a check when the association sent us the bill. I think it's in this check here.
I want to say 300 and change. I want to say
$322, I think it is.
Yeah.
But they told us to send it to a certain company in Texas. We sent it to them. They sent us back the check saying they didn't know what the hell it was for. So I had Diana cancel that check, and we're writing out the check for $322, and we're going to send it to the fire association.
You know,
They'll tell us what to do next.
no,
We'll either deal with it or whatever.
I gave mine from the back to the battalion chief, Louis Luongo.
Right.
We might want to do that because he'll know how to address that if you
Now,
want.
right now, the check is going to be mailed to the association, and they'll
Okay.
deal with it. And then we'll wait to hear from them. So that's being accounted for in this pay period.
Okay.
Dan, to piggyback on your question about the radios, our 2021 budget was the first year we were specifically going to earmark money for the radios. So hopefully we'll know something before we have to put that into the budget.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. That's the first year, this year. That's next year. Okay.
Linda, I was a little confused on your spreadsheet. It's just me. What, the stuff you have in the green, is that what's in the accounts now exactly?
That's for the money that's in this year's, no.
What, how much is
You
in the?
look on the far left,
Right,
right under where the date is.
okay, I got it.
Those numbers are what's in each of those accounts.
Okay, I see.
And it should be adding up everything else. The numbers that are in green, we have not transferred yet.
Okay,
We'll do that at the end of the year or like that, like
all right.
around now.
Now I understand it.
Okay. Okay, so that's that.
Jim, oh, sorry. I was going to say, Jim, going back to your comments about pressure on the budget, do I understand correctly that you're alerting us to the possibility that there'll be pressures on us to reduce our budget? Because all the other budgets will be going up. The school budget and everybody's budget will be going up, but ours, there'll be pressure on us to reduce the budget. Is that what you were saying? Jim? Oh, you can't hear me? Can't hear?
Oh, you can hear you. We
Right
can't
now.
hear you.
I try to mute because I might move around and you'd hear it. Yeah, I think that the pressure is going to be, yes, to reduce your budget, but I think you have to also be very clear on how you justify what you're putting in the budget. And the districts have certain needs. The district has to put out fire. You don't have a lot of fires. The only time anybody needs the fire truck is when you have a fire. And the people out there have to be reminded of that. And they have to be reminded that you're not putting money away for to build a Taj Mahal, or you're putting unbelievable amounts of money away to buy fire trucks that you won't need for years. But the LE operations should not be a problem, but you just have to explain what the operations mean. If the town highway snowplow truck doesn't go out for 2 hours because it won't start, that's okay. The fire truck has to go.
Okay, well, thanks, Jim. This is, that's normal that we have to explain to people what our budget is about. And you're saying there'll be even enhanced need this year to explain what our budget is about.
I think so, yes.
So just as
Okay,
a planning, when are we going to do now, maybe this isn't the time to discuss it, but it seems to me we've got to, August isn't that far off. When are we going to do, when's the budget crunch come? August?
Well, we probably should have a budget meeting either the beginning of August or the end of this month. I don't know how we're going to do that, but.
Budget meeting August or
When's it due, Jim? End of September?
No, well, when we have to do it.
We have to have something the middle of September so that we can publicize a public hearing in October.
I think we should have it at either, probably the very, very beginning of August.
Okay.
And just everybody take an opportunity to go through the budget and look at it and see what we think. It's really, we know it's really hard with our budget that we don't spend 1/12 of it every month. And we know that the firematic budget gets spent in December.
Yeah.
So we just have to, just be cognizant of all that. That's all.
If you guys are picking a meeting date, be aware that August 10th should be our next regular district meeting. There is the Monday in front of it is the 1st. If not, the 4th Monday of the month is the 24th of August.
Well, I would say that maybe we should do it. Maybe we should do it on the 3rd. Just have a special work. No, Nat?
Not, that's the one week in August I'm not going to be here.
Okay. Well, then maybe we should do it during that meeting?
During
Very
when?
well.
At the 10th?
10th is fine.
I
A
won't
lot
be,
extra
well,
time for that.
actually, I could do it remotely on the 10th. I'll be at the shore on the 10th, but I could come in remotely. So
Yeah, it's no different than this.
Yep, that's true. I'll be there.
Okay, so why don't we just plan on tacking it on to the meeting? And I mean, we don't have a ton of stuff to discuss as a rule anyway, so
Everyone could just plan for additional time to be spent on the
Yeah,
10th.
yeah, it'll go
Okay.
back to our old meetings of old where they lasted 2 hours.
Sounds good.
All right,
The question that I have is, how do you want me to get it to you?
Like-
You
Email?
want me to mail, you do want me to mail it out to everybody?
Oh,
So
so
you
we have a
have the
big
hard
one?
copy?
Email, no?
so we have
If
a
I
big,
email it, can you print it out?
yeah.
I can.
If you're gonna do it on the extra large paper, that would be great.
I can mail it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just each send you our mailing address?
Jim's
Yes.
got them.
Okay,
Okay, we'll send the mailing.
everybody got that?
Yep.
All right. All right, I make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
aye.
Got that, Kristen? Okay. Let's wait on the chief's report for a little while.
I have, well, you guys all got a copy from me with the Zoom minutes. I have his report on my computer as well.
Yeah, and we were given, you got
Yeah,
it.
Sandy, do you want to go over it with us? Just,
Yeah, I can do that. He didn't answer me. I asked if he was gonna get on. He didn't answer me. So, if we start at the top of the chief report, 1551 is still out for repairs. I've checked with them personally. They're waiting on the Cosmo to come back. It's a Charger. We were thinking it's a Lemon we got because this is the third time we've had a problem with it. It's not charging properly. So I talked to them. They're just waiting for it to come back, and then they're going to swap out 1551 for 1542. 42 will then go out for service for the wipers and a few other problems that it has. We told all drivers, reminding to all drivers when driving at night, to turn on all the scene lights, because at Graymore, we had a call where we had to go to the back by the brothers, and I don't know if you guys have ever been to the back of Graymore, but if you go back that alleyway, there's no way to turn the trucks around and get out. So you have to drive up and around a very tight, round, circular area, and one of the drivers flipped, and it wasn't me, flipped the back driver's side fender. So we're gonna get that repaired. They got that on order.
which truck was that?
That's the rescue truck. Or no, wait, is it yeah, that's the rescue truck, I think, yeah.
So Sandy, tell me what the status is of all the trainings with this COVID thing. What
What training?
do?
What's that?
Any trainings that, I mean, usually you guys go in on Sundays, you have Tuesday trainings. How do
So we just started
meet
back
their
up.
requirements?
Yeah, we just started back up recently. We've had 3 days, I think. They did ladders with all the new guys. They did, what's his name? Jim Matero has been working with Nick Sears. His training for firefighter 1 got cut off. So Matero's been working with Nick to try to keep him up to date on that. And that training is going to start back up, I think, next week.
Okay.
And then this Sunday, so we're trying to switch training to Sundays because we have more time than Tuesday nights. So we're going to switch, and then he's only going to do truck checks on 2 Tuesdays of each month.
Okay.
Everybody's wearing a mask when they go into the station. The station's pretty much closed down to people coming in and out. So they're not spending much on food because we're not really spending the members are not spending much time at the station. They're coming in for calls and that's about it. And then Sunday nights and then 2 Tuesdays. The gym is going to reopen though for the members, and they're going to do one every other hour. So 5 to 6 it'll be open, 6 to 7 it'll be closed. 7 to 8 it'll be open, 8 to 9 will be closed. And we're going to Durasand that room once a month, and then I'm going to put a small Durasand bottle on the side. So if they have to clean something, they can re-Durasand it and then walk out, let it dry over that next hour, and then the next guy can go in and use it.
Is there a limit to the number of people that can be in there at one time? Or
One
does
person at a time, only one.
just one? Okay, good.
So so that we don't want, and then they want that hour to let it air out. There are about 4 members that would use the gym regularly.
Okay.
Yes, there's not that many really. One
So,
of the auxiliary people asked if they could use the gym. They're not opening it up to the auxiliary right now. So
okay, good. So my question is for LoSAP points, how do people stack up? Are they still doing online training?
Well, here's the thing.
OSHA and those other things?
So here's the thing. They still have to do the OSHA. We're still logging those OSHA things, but the governor signed a report. I don't know if anybody saw it. The governor signed something saying that for all volunteer agencies, they're going to award 5 points for every member. You're going to be able to get 5 extra points per month that you're affected by COVID.
Oh.
That is going to be added to your, but like say we have a meeting and we say we have the meeting. So we just had a meeting. Even though we're affected by COVID this month, everybody that came to the meeting, they're not going to get an extra point in those 5 points for that meeting. You know what I mean? But if people didn't come to the meeting, they're going to get a point for that meeting, even though they didn't come. The view is maybe they didn't come because of COVID.
So they're
Sandy, does
somewhere.
that mean, this is the first time I've heard of that.
Yeah, I
Um,
can send it to you if you
But
want.
does this mean that more people will get the 50 points than usually get the 50 points?
It's possible. It is possible because there'll be people that maybe weren't coming to meetings that will now get the meeting points. The governor signed it for 5 points extra for each person, 5 points per month for each person. And what Jim said is like say somebody didn't come to training, they'll get a point for that area, even though they didn't come because maybe it was because of COVID. And the governor's saying we can't dock them because of that. I will say this, there have been a couple companies that said, so Putnam Valley, I'm part of Putnam Valley Ambulance, and therefore I hear about Putnam Valley Fire as well. The Putnam Valley Fire Department is saying anybody who made their LoSAP last year is automatically going to make it this year. That's how they're doing it. And then the Valley, the ambulance corps is doing the same thing. Anybody who made their points last year and were able to vote last year are going to make it this year.
Right, but what you said sounded to me like there'll be new people making the 50 points who didn't make it last year.
That could be. So if you have new people that got their call volume, but they were light on points because of meetings, but they haven't made meetings, they're going to get some extra points this year because of that, because of what the governor signed. So that could be very well true. And that's out of our hands, really. That was the governor doing that.
Right, so we're going to have to take that into account at budget time.
Yeah, because there could very well be more LoSAP people this year because of that.
Okay,
It depends on how long we're affected by COVID. It's 5 points for every month we're affected by the COVID. So
so how many months have we been affected so
it
far?
could be March, April, May, and now June and July. So 5 months right now.
So that's 25 points.
Yeah. And if you think about it, if they get their call volume in, then that's 50 points. So that is true. And it depends on our call volume too. You know, the call volume might.
Does it depend on call volume?
What's that?
Isn't there some rule that if you don't make your 10%, you aren't
Well,
eligible?
The
for
reason I say it depends on call volume is because say we only get 140 calls this year, 10% is only 14 calls.
Yeah.
But if we get 220, 10% is 22 calls. So it depends on call volume then. You know, if we only do 14 calls, if we only have 140 calls, we only have to do 14 to get 10%. So
Sandy, when it comes to the budget process, it would be very helpful if I guess you're in the best position.
Yeah.
Could make an estimate of how many people will accumulate 50 points.
yeah, what I can do is I can print off a preliminary LoSAP report so we can get a good idea of where people are at the time. Yeah,
Good.
I can do that.
And I have one more question as part of the chief's report. I might have missed it last meeting, but I understood there was a lot of new applications for members.
Yeah,
Did
so we've gotten,
that?
yeah, we have actually. We have Rivero, we have Nick, I don't know, Nick Sears, he's kind of new, but he's going through firefighter 1 right now. But we have Rivero, we have Brent Draper, we have Lily Albertson. And actually they've been coming out. They have been on a lot of different calls. So they have been pretty active, those newer guys. Oh, and a guy named E, I don't know how to say his name correctly, but we call him E because it's easier. So he's a new guy too. And
So
they've all got their
people in the
physical.
last 3 or 4 months.
What's that?
4 new people in the last since the beginning of the year.
I would say 5, yeah,
5,
yeah.
and then we lost Mike.
And we lost Mike, yeah.
Okay.
Sandy,
And-
can we talk offline after the meeting? I can't do it from here where I am. I'll pull my old minutes because I know Grafer and a couple others we talked about on a district. There was someone else who was supposed to get on the Zoom call and didn't. And let's correlate your list and my list that the commissioners have already approved. And if we're missing somebody, let's
All
try
right.
to get on
We've
our next
approved
call.
everybody.
We also
I don't think
have,
we have.
we
There were
also
2 or 3 that were
we
supposed to
also
get on the Zoom call.
have, Stearns, Chris Stearns. remember we were talking, because Chris Burns keeps saying he's gonna come back. And then he'll come back for 1 or 2 meetings and then, or one call, and then we don't see him for 5 months. And so Jim was trying to say, that's it, okay, now he has to reapply, but he's come back one more time now. So he was at the last training on Sunday. We're gonna wait about a month or so, or 2 months, and just see where, if he falls back into not coming out. We have to do something, we don't know what to do with him right now, because now he's back on, he's gonna come out. So he's on the fence right now. You know, Jim said he's gonna give him one more shot, and then
Are people coming out for the calls, or is COVID stopping them?
we're getting a lot of the new people are coming out for calls. I haven't seen Dan Sussman for a while, and I don't know if it's because of COVID or not, because he's a little bit older, and then it could be because of that. So we haven't seen Dan for a while. Who else? Mike Del Monte's coming back, but I don't know if you heard about Mike. He's spending half his time in Florida, half his time here.
See what?
Alternating. So Mike Del Monte is alternating with his wife in Florida. So he's got one of his kids is in school in Florida, one of his younger kids.
Oh,
So he spends half the time in Florida with him, and then they swap, and he spends half the time in Florida. So Mike's in and out right now. Del Monte, so he's in right. I think he's back for a few weeks right now, and then we'll see Mike next week.
okay. All right. Well, that's good.
Okay.
5 new members is better than no new members.
Yeah, we're getting quite a few people on calls. Actually, I think we got about 12 guys on the last call, which was really good. So
Cindy, could you write up the names of the new members and just send them to all of us?
yeah, sure.
And then Kristen can check and see if we bless them or not. And then next meeting, we can
Maybe get them on. if we
either
need-
invite them or do what we have to do to make it all legal.
Did we see Lily? Did everybody see Lily here? She didn't get on with us yet, I don't think. So I think she's the only one.
And there was
we
some
haven't-
guy that worked at the gas station
That's
in
Eve.
Garrison by the school. He never got on the call. He was supposed to and didn't.
Are you sure he didn't get on? I thought he did.
No.
No? Okay. All right. So those are the 2 new ones I think that you guys haven't seen. Brent Draper, did you see him?
Yes,
It was a long time ago, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
he came in
All right,
person before we went COVID.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish the chief report really quick. So the officers had a meeting to discuss the SCBA training, forcible entry, all the training that we're going to be doing. Bailout, we have to do bailout. That's a high one. Qualifications for driving, ladder training, boat training. And I think he's going to have some special classes for incident commander for the officers. The boats in service, we did 1 marine call. We went out, met the sheriff and met Fort Montgomery. There was a capsized dinghy upside down, some debris around. They thought maybe somebody was out there. They didn't find anybody, and West Point Fire actually towed the boat into their marina. That's what happened with that one. But we got our boat out, and everything was good. And nobody was at the boat club, and nobody said a word. We just went out for the call. We put the silks on there, got the fireboat out. We came back, and I didn't see anybody. It was good. He's got the fender in here. I already talked about that. Talked about when we're going to be meeting. Members were told at the membership meeting to contact an officer if your pest training needs to be updated or if you missed some training. He's going to be sending out training notices on IMR. We got the physicals are under control right now. I think we just have Rodney that needs to be caught up. And of course, Chris Stearns is out of date because he's been in and out. So we got to get Chris. You know, it's funny because I don't know what to do with Chris. Do I pay for a physical because he's been in and out so much? But we have to in order for him to come out on calls and train with us. So Chris Stearns is going to be going for a physical. And Adam and Wendy are working on personal gear and physicals to see what category people are falling in. One problem we had is we had some members like Dan Sussman went for their physical, but they didn't do the pulmonary or the face mask test. We didn't realize that. And in order to be even a driver or an interior, even some exterior, they need to have the face mask test and the pulmonary because we could go on a hazmat. What's that?
Even for a driver?
Yeah, because we could be on a hazmat call, and if that comes your way, you want to be able to mask up and put your SCBA on. So even an exterior guy needs to have the pulmonary and the face mask, so they can mask up in case we get the fumes coming our way. And that's it for the chief report. You want me to go over the call? You don't need to, right?
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, we haven't had any major fire calls. It's all been a lot of automatic alarms and things like that, some car accidents. I will say because of the COVID, we haven't had as many car accidents as we normally would because people weren't driving. And now they're starting to get back on the road. We're starting to see a little bit more. of the car accident. So, and that's where we are.
All right, can I have a motion to accept the chief's report?
I'll
Second,
second that.
all in favor?
Aye,
Who was the first? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
David.
David? Okay.
This is Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Stan, you might want to check with VFIS because they should be able to give you a LoSAP plan, which the board will have to approve to put into effect the governor's recommendations about the points.
Jim, thanks. I could do that. I'm just surprised that they haven't sent that to every fire district in the state.
I will send you a copy of that because I have a copy in my email, so I will forward that to all the commissioners. So you guys have it.
The Penflex, which does the same thing, has sent it out and said that they'll write up the plan for the board for only $400. That's it.
Thanks, Jim.
But we could also just say, we accept the governor's recommendation.
What else can we say? I mean, this is.
Right, well, I mean, why do we have to have a big plan?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all. Okay. I assume we don't have a president company report?
No.
David, did they approve the color of paint?
Yeah, they left it up to Sandy and I. That's right. That's why I went through the motions.
That's okay.
No,
We have to go through the motions and do that, but
Sandy, I met with the gentleman today. In the middle of the week, he's gonna come by with colors and everything, and you and I are gonna make the final decisions with him.
sounds good.
And,
I mean, they're gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same, so they're
Yeah,
good with what we say.
they just wanna make sure they're not gonna do it on their own either, so.
Right. We'll approve them.
David, do we have any correspondence or anybody else?
I received a couple of different notices. They were looking for, VFIS was looking for an audit and everything. I sent them to Jim, so Jim's
Yeah.
taking care of those two things. There was two of them, so he has them both, and, right, Jim?
Hold on a minute, Dave. I just don't want to get confused. That you mentioned an audit.
Right.
Is this no, this must be different, and I'll have to wait for my insurance time.
Okay.
No, because I mean, it's not VFIS. This is the New York State Insurance Fund, having to do with workers' compensation, which is small.
Yeah, that was the one you talked to me
Yeah,
about.
I sent it all to everybody. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, I had Linda send it to Jim. Jim's gonna take care
There are
of it.
two pieces of it. One is for the payroll, which I have here. And then the other piece was, I think, for the volunteers, and that you needed to, I think, not had to put the number of people in the district down.
Yeah, I've done that, but that's that. This new thing is this is a, well, Jim, I'm pretty sure I copied you there. This is a request for, I mean, I don't remember whether we get audited every year in New York State Insurance Fund.
You probably do.
Okay, we've responded to it in the past, and what's the best thing to do? I mean, I mean, maybe it's very simple, and maybe we just send them. I've forgotten about how we respond to this. I just don't. I can't recall.
I don't have a copy of what was done last year.
I don't think I think,
We remember it last year, but I don't remember much.
Well, okay. I mean, I can send this around again, and I mean, I just, it calls for quite a lot of paperwork, payroll records and cash books and general ledgers and all kinds of things. Maybe none of that really applies.
We've taken care of that with the report that we're sending in for the salaries.
For the what?
for the salaries. This is for the workers' comp for Diana.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, maybe is that all there is to it?
Yeah, it's a 3-pager. That's,
That, yeah, I've done that. I remember doing that. I remember doing that. This is something new, Jim. I'm gonna have to send it to you.
okay.
Because I sent it to everybody, but I'm gonna send it around. I'm not gonna send it to everybody. I'm gonna just send it to you. So
Fine.
you can
And
see
when I
what
get it,
is.
I'll look at it. We'll talk.
Okay, so we do have the one audit from our auditors that, Jim, you're working on gathering.
Right. There.
So you got 2 pieces of information that you needed today anyway. Okay.
Mhm.
And the other thing was RBT just I just got a bill in the mail for $4,000. I guess that's for our audit for 2019.
Right. But I would not pay it until they give you the final report.
They still haven't given it to us for 2018?
18 you got
Oh, they
at
didn't?
some point.
Well, they're still reviewing 19, right?
Yeah, they're working on 19. They haven't done 19.
That would be right.
Yeah.
But don't.
Yes. What's the $4,000 for?
Well,
Interim billing.
That's an interim bill, I guess. It's usually about 12 or 13 altogether.
It's, I think it was 8 or 9.
Yeah, it was 8 or 9. Yeah, so they're looking for half now.
Mm-hmm.
Jim says don't pay him, right?
So I won't pay them then?
Don't pay them until you get the piece of paper in your hand.
Okay.
Last year we held them up. So this year we're not doing that, right?
No, they got, the only thing we're holding them up for is the 2 pieces of paper you sent me.
Okay, great. So you've done everything else that they questioned. All right, perfect.
Yep.
I
Fabulous.
sent Vibit everything she wanted. She told me she had everything she needed from me as well.
Good.
And are you talking about the 2 pieces? Are those the cancer policy invoices?
And the LoSAP
Yeah.
list.
Well, all I dealt with was the cancer policy.
What did somebody say? I sent you the LoSAP list too.
Oh, okay. You sent Jim the LoSAP list.
There was, so I guess the auditor is Vibrani or what, I don't know how to pronounce her name. So she asked about, they wanted a various invoices and things like that. That's all been sent?
She hasn't asked for any more.
I mean, but we sent the ones that she asked for.
I assume so.
How do you assume you should, why don't we know?
Well, she had the question and then she keeps making the list shorter that she sends to me. And the list,
Okay.
the only thing that she was asking for now was
Printed it
those
out.
2. Yeah.
I printed it out so I could actually figure it out. There was a lot of, invoice things she wanted copies of. I don't know. Yeah. I guess.
They're doing everything. They're doing everything virtually. They're not going to the place of business anymore.
Right. So okay. So in other words, you don't know of anything we need to send them except for a couple
Right.
of things.
So when I send this to her tomorrow, I'll ask her, is there anything else that you could possibly need so we can get it for you?
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So that's correspondence. Buildings and grounds.
All right, the electricians put in a new line for the washer today, so the company can hook up the washer.
Nice.
I had the electrician fix the hanging light in the front of the bays.
Oh,
Very good.
I checked on the 2 lights in the front of the front door. I'm trying to get a hold of a light bulb to replace the light bulbs. They're 20 years old and I'm working on that for a day. I replaced the light bulb for the flagpole. What else? Like I told Sandy, I met with the gentleman today, going over the color. We're going to go over the colors for the painting. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, the painting and everything will be started on Station 2. Last week, when the gentleman first came to give Sandy the samples for the colors, I had him also do a bid on Station 1. And they came up with he came up with a proposal for $4,900 to do the same thing as Station 1 we're doing at Station 2. Repair all the cracks, paint it, repair the broken chimney in the back, clean up the front wash and paint the doors and everything else. So I'd like to know, we had allotted 15,000 for Station 2, not allotted, but that's what was in the budget. So we're spending 10.5 on Station 2. So the other 4,900 would only make it over, a little over the 15,000. We could also have Station 1 done. So I'd like permission to get 2 more bids, and then we can get the best bid for Station 1 and get that all fixed up again
I think
too.
it'd be great if we did them the same year and just cross that off the plate for a number of years. So I vote yes on that. Or I make a motion that we do Station 1.
I like that
whatever.
idea.
Second,
Well, right.
Second.
okay. Everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
Well, I'll come
Who's
back
the
to you with
second on the motion to
Yeah, we
do?
got to get some more bids.
Andy seconded it.
get bids, but we just want to know we're going to go forward.
Oh, so you don't have the motion because we're just gonna wait?
I
till-
made a mistake. No, we have
Okay,
to approve it, but we
Okay.
agreed to go forward. So you could say that.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
Okay, and then the other thing too with Station 2, we're gonna give them a check for $3,500, 30% down payment for them to start the job.
Okay.
Let's see, what else? I think that's about it for the moment.
Thank you.
Oh,
Finance,
wait, I also had, the landscaper, I had him come in, they pulled all the weeds at Station 2. They had to let it go for a little while because of COVID, he was short-handed, so, but they're dealing with that again, so, oh, and the other thing too is I want to, I checked on roll-up doors for that 40-foot trailer, storage trailer in the back. A roll-up door for that was anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500. So I'd like to get some bids on that to have the roll-up door installed on that storage trailer in the back. Because that was one of the things that was on the list.
That was on the list.
Right, so I'm guessing we could get that done for 2,500 or less.
what storage unit is this?
The 40-foot trailer, yeah, they want a roll-up door right in the center of it.
Yeah, because you can't get at it.
Right, but now that would also, then we'd also have to figure out how much it would cost to run electric to it for lights.
Yep.
But that could be down the road, so. But I'll start working on bids on that too.
Great, thank you. Anything finance and insurance?
Nothing other than that audit matter, which I'll get squared with Jim.
Okay. Low SAP, community relations? First, nothing, because we have no community.
So Dave, am I right in thinking that anything that the boat club needed, you were able to get to them?
Well, I had already given them the insurance and everything and everything. I have to call Ed to make sure he's got my phone number. I'll be the contact person.
Yeah, no, because I keep, just, if you need anything there, if you need some help, let me know. But I think you're right. They just need your phone number. I mean, if you send them the certificate of whatever they call that, coverage.
Yeah, I had sent that to them with the check.
Oh, well, good. Well, then if they have you down as the contact, then you swear in blood that you're not going to break any of the rules. They'll
Well, they'll yell at me if Jimmy and if the fire company.
I gotta say too, that there's a guy that has the boat next to us. Extremely nice. He said he'll keep an eye on our boat. We've changed phone numbers, and I told him we'd keep an eye on his boat, so it's going pretty well this year.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Low SAP?
Just really quick on LoSAP.
The only thing I have, Sandy, go ahead, Sandy.
I was just gonna say, I did find that email while we were talking, and I sent it out to all you guys.
Thank you.
So it covers everything.
The only thing I have to say is that, as you might suspect, the equity portion of our LoSAP investments went way down in March. But they have recovered now to just about what they were before everything went down. So I just checked the latest report. We have $840,000 in the LoSAP fund.
Long range planning, anything?
One thing on LoSAP, Stan, I sent you a phone call.
Yes,
Herschel was supposed to drop off his information to you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dave. Nothing has appeared yet.
I gave him the stuff a month ago, so it's
Okay,
up to him. It's his ball game now.
right, okay.
Good.
Nothing for long range.
So let me ask a question. I wasn't at the last meeting, but we were gonna set aside some time to talk about the possibility of moving forward on thinking about getting that multi-purpose truck.
So Linda, here's what happened. We were set to meet on that. The company has requested more time to research it.
Okay, I didn't know that. Perfect, thank you. More time.
Well, the question is it going to visit, as I remember our discussion with Jim and Sandy, they needed to visit various other companies, do some more. I mean, it's just a matter of doing, it's not just a matter of, but there's some more research to be done before a recommendation was going to be made.
Yeah, we want to go to Fort Montgomery and check out their truck, how often they use it, how they like it.
So we need to earmark that $50,000
Yeah.
before September 1st or on September 1st time. So if you could just put that in your mental calendar bank to
Okay.
see if we can make a decision.
Yeah, we'll step it up on that then. Okay.
Let's
Thank
ask Jim, Jim Paskoff, you there?
Yes,
That Linda was just talking about the 50,000 of unallocated general fund money that could go into a reserve fund. We don't, you once said that there's no deadline. I mean, we don't have to do anything about that until.
you can wait until December to do it to make sure you don't need it for anything else.
Okay, but I
I
think.
thought it was September 1, I'm sorry.
No,
But if in fact we are able to, because we've made a call and we've got a plan, then of course we could, but
you
I
could
don't-
do it anytime.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't see the plan yet.
Okay. Plan. All right, I submitted I don't know, it's the New York State Forestry Grant.
Mhm.
Jimmy said we should just go for I think the water floatus pump again. Eventually, we're gonna earn enough points by getting denied that we're gonna get something, but I
Yeah.
don't know when that's gonna be. So,
So did we get denied again?
no, wait, their deadline just happened.
Okay.
So we won't know for months, and I don't know when we're gonna know about the other grants.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming nobody's gonna get any money this year, but what do I know? District Health and Safety, you said everything is on schedule for.
Yeah, one thing for under health and safety, I have to order another AED because one of the AEDs is obsolete. I talked to the guy from Stryker. I just know that from the ambulance corps. The 500, which is in one of the chief's cars, is no longer supported and we can't use it. So I'm gonna have to order one AED, which is about $1,800. That'll come out of the first aid. I think we have 3,000 in there. It'll come out of that fund in our budget.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay? Yep.
I assume we know nothing about the website.
But I don't have anything.
I
Nobody.
don't have anything.
I don't have any new policies and procedures.
What? No new policies and procedures?
Thank God. Any
And,
old business?
hanging on policies and procedures.
Yes.
When are we supposed to get a policy about the, only talking to the lawyers or whatever in the case of the
Yeah,
accident?
Sandy, you were gonna talk to Butler about it.
What was I talking to him about? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, David, because I don't remember.
The policy for when there's a car accident and the lawyers are looking to talk to us.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a policy that we don't talk to them.
I thought he sent that. No?
I haven't seen it.
I'll double check on that.
I think we paid them for it.
All right. Is Kristen still on?
It must have gone.
Yeah, 'cause I don't see her anymore.
Coming back.
Coming in down here, coming in down below.
Kristen, did we get anything from Butler regarding a policy for talking to lawyers regarding the car accident? You're on mute,
He
Kristen.
sent anything. I think he sent us, don't do it. When you
Well,
talk,
he did say what he said was they have to subpoena us for any information. But was there a full policy that he sent us? That's the question.
No, I've never received it in the mail,
Me,
Kristen?
but I don't know. I thought we were told we had to put a policy in place for it.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna send one. Kristen, you're on mute still, Kristen.
yeah, but
Sorry,
he's.
I lost the connection for a minute. What are you asking me?
Did you ever get anything from Butler regarding a policy that, for car accidents or any kind of information they want from us? All right,
Nope.
I'll check into that
Nothing.
then. I'll send another email out today and check into that then.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any new business?
Linda, I have one item of new business, and this is early, but there's been all this talk about voting by mail because of the pandemic,
Yep.
people not wanting to gather. And I wonder if we should begin to consider having our election in December by mail, or at least giving people that option.
How would we know who to send it to?
I think.
Linda, I don't think I can answer any of your questions,
Yeah, I don't know either. I
Well-
mean,
but on that one, just as an example, I mean, the county knows who can vote in Garrison. Our usual election officials have a book
Yeah.
with all of the voters in it. So presumably, everybody in that book could be sent a vote by mail thing.
We request that book. I'm sure if you wait till school goes back in session, the school district did remote balloting. I'm sure we could reach out to the superintendent's secretary and find out what they did.
Let me tell you about the school balloting. We all got 2 ballots for the school balloting. Everyone in my household got 2 ballots.
Oh, I only got one.
We all got 2. We should talk to Butler and see what he recommends as well.
I think that's a great idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
would you do that when you ask them the other thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
Not only that, but I'm sure the Board of Elections in Putnam County, I mean, they asked us whether or not they could use the firehouse for the primary vote. So I don't know what the situation for the presidential and the election in November is going to be. They'll
Yeah.
be looking to use the firehouse again, so I don't know what decision we're going to make about that, or you know, I
I was
don't,
hoping that
gonna say.
everything was gonna be back open up by then, but I don't
Oh,
know.
we all hope that.
Yeah.
Just anecdotally, I was talking to some friends who actually went to the Continental Village clubhouse or whatever it is.
How'd that
And
go?
he said it was a very good experience. They felt comfortable with all the precautions and so on. They worked well, they thought.
Good.
Good question, Stan, and we'll see what we can figure out about it.
Yeah, we'll check into it.
And
I
Linda,
assume we have no public comments.
gotta go back to old business for a minute.
Okay,
We need to make a permanent vote on the raise that we gave to Diana Hess.
oh, right. I make a motion that we authorize a raise to $500 a month for Diana beginning July 1.
I'll second it.
Sandy can second.
Favor?
I'm fine with that.
Aye.
Okay, so now it's official.
Yep.
Thank you, David. I forgot all about that. No public comments. You want to do vouchers, David? What's the number?
Yeah, it was funny. I printed it out and she sent the email, sent it out. It said for April 27th.
Oh,
Yeah. Fortunately, it's the correct thing. It's titled, this is vouchers June 5th, 2020 till July 9th, 2020 in the amount of $19,432.56.
okay, I second that.
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
In favor, pay away, Dave.
Not me.
What signatures do we need, Dave?
Great. Thank you very much. Anybody have anything else?
There was 9 checks that needed to be signed. We signed those.
But we need a
I'll
third,
stop by tomorrow. We just need the vouchers signed by a third person.
yeah, we need a third person to sign the voucher.
Diana has reached out to me a couple times for some things that she need help working on and some invoices and things, but they also still have a bill from the company. I forwarded a request to Rodney. Diana texted me yesterday. She still hasn't heard anything back
What is
about
it?
the Putnam County Chiefs Association. The district agreed to pay the bill. The company sent it over with no place to send the money to.
But what,
I
we
did-
have the Chiefs Association, but you don't know where to send it?
Correct. Diana has no information where to send it. The
I'll get
company
that.
sent an invoice with nothing on it.
All right.
I
I'll
did
get that.
find Ken Clare's thing through the county website and told her to try there, but I sent an email to Robney last week, but he hasn't answered.
I'll take care of that.
What is this
Thank
bill
you.
for?
Hmm?
What is this bill for?
Membership in the Putnam County Chiefs Association. The district agreed to pay it, and Diana told me she's got an invoice, but no address to send the check to.
Okay, because
She
I
can't send
had,
it.
I hadn't even seen the invoice, but that's
I'll
all
take
right.
care
I
of
think
that.
that was last month, because
Yeah.
she's been looking for it for 2 weeks now.
I'll get you an address.
Thank you.
All right. So everybody remember to send your mailing address to Jim Pasikoff.
Okay.
Thanks, Linda. I will do it right now.
And who wants to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
And we'll have a meeting August the 10th, right?
August 10th is our next meeting, everybody.
Perfect.
And we're going to allow time for a budget discussion.
Yes, expect an extended time.
Okay.
Thank you very much, all.
Thank you,
Stay
Linda.
safe.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Everybody stay safe.
Night,
Take care.
everybody.
Rest up there, Dave.
Yeah, I'll rest.